stop. Tonight, don't be surprised if you suddenly wake up in the middle of the night. Not because of a nightmare, not because you heard a noise, not because something is wrong. Simply because your brain decides it's time. You'll probably reach for your phone. The screen lights up. 2:17 a.m. You sigh. Close your eyes. Try to fall asleep again. 5 minutes pass. 10. 20. You're still awake. Your first thought is probably, why can't I sleep? But what if the real mystery isn't why you woke up? What if the real mystery is why modern humans expect to sleep through the entire night at all? Now imagine opening your eyes, not in your bedroom, but beside a small fire 40,000 years ago. The cave is silent. The flames are slowly fading. Your family is asleep beside you. Outside, the wind moves through the trees. Somewhere in the darkness, a wolf howls. Yet no one around you thinks you're suffering from insomnia, because waking up right now is completely normal. Before we continue, make one prediction. If you suddenly woke up 40,000 years ago, what would you do first? A. Add wood to the fire. B. Watch the stars. C. Try to fall asleep again. Comment just one. Fire, stars, or sleep? Let's see. How many people guess correctly? Because the answer changes everything we think we know about sleep. For hundreds of thousands of years, our ancestors didn't usually sleep 8 uninterrupted hours. They expected to wake up. They even had a purpose for it. And strangely, modern science is beginning to suggest your brain may still be following that ancient rhythm today. Imagine looking around the cave. The fire is still glowing with a few red embers. Someone quietly places another piece of wood onto the flames. No one seems surprised that they're awake. No one whispers, "Something must be wrong with me." Because to them, waking in the middle of the night wasn't unusual at all. It was simply another quiet chapter of the night. For hundreds of thousands of years, humans rarely expected to sleep until sunrise without waking. The first sleep usually began soon after darkness settled across the land. Several hours later, people naturally opened their eyes and stayed awake for a while. Only when their bodies felt ready did they peacefully drift into a second sleep. Today, historians call this ancient pattern biphasic sleep. But your ancestors never needed a scientific name to understand it. To them, this was simply how a normal night unfolded. Quick question. If you woke naturally at 2 a.m., with no phone, no clock, and nowhere you had to be tomorrow, would you still think something was wrong? Comment just one. Yes or no. Because anxiety may not have been the thing keeping you awake. Modern life might be. Imagine sitting quietly beside the fire. The cave is almost completely silent. Outside, snow falls softly across the forest. The stars shine above the entrance. No notifications, no alarms, no glowing screens. Only the sound of crackling wood and slow breathing from the people beside you. Your body isn't tense, your heart isn't racing. Instead, your mind feels strangely clear. Scientists believe that during this quiet period, the brain entered a remarkably peaceful state. Levels of a hormone called prolactin remained unusually high, creating a deep feeling of calm and relaxation. Almost like the peaceful feeling after meditation, or the quiet satisfaction after finishing something meaningful. To modern people, being awake at 2 a.m. often feels like a problem. To your ancestors, it could feel like a gift. Some simply watched the fire. Some thought about the day that had passed. Others replayed their dreams, while every detail was still fresh inside their minds. There was no pressure to fall asleep immediately. No one counted the hours. No one worried about being tired for work the next morning. Because this quiet hour already belonged to the night. And perhaps that's the biggest difference between them and us. Today, the moment we wake unexpectedly, we assume something has gone wrong. 40,000 years ago, waking for a while may have been exactly what the human brain expected to do. But if our ancestors weren't trying to force themselves back to sleep, what were they actually doing during those mysterious hours before dawn? The answer is even more fascinating than waking up itself. No glowing screens interrupt your thoughts. No clock reminds you how late it is. No one worries about tomorrow's schedule. For the first time all day, your mind feels completely quiet. Some people reflected on the day's hunt and planned tomorrow's journey. Others remembered where fresh water or edible plants had been found. Many quietly replayed their dreams before the memories disappeared. Those peaceful hours became a time for careful thinking instead of restless worrying. Centuries later, medieval writers still described these hours as perfect for prayer and reflection. Some even believed this was the best time for deep learning and meaningful conversations. One French physician recommended these quiet hours for married couples to conceive children.
To our ancestors, waking at night wasn't a mistake. It was simply another useful part of life. Those quiet hours gave them time to think, reflect, and prepare for another day of survival. Then, everything slowly changed. Artificial light pushed bedtime later and later with every generation. Factories demanded fixed schedules instead of following the rhythm of sunrise and sunset. Modern life slowly replaced nature's timetable with the ticking of a clock. People gradually forgot that humans once slept in 2 separate periods. Today, waking at 2 a.m. often feels like something is wrong. Many of us immediately reach for a phone, check the time, and begin worrying about losing sleep. Ironically, that anxiety often keeps us awake even longer. But history suggests your brain may simply remember an older rhythm, a rhythm that guided humanity through hundreds of thousands of years before electricity ever existed.
Of course, serious insomnia and many medical conditions are completely different and deserve proper treatment. But occasionally waking during the night may not always be a malfunction. It may be a small echo from a time when darkness shaped every human life. Perhaps your body still remembers a world before electric lights filled the night sky. A world where people slept soon after sunset and welcomed the silence between 2 peaceful sleeps. A world where the stars were brighter than any screen, and the only light came from a small fire glowing beside the people you loved. Before you go, if you woke naturally at 2 a.m. with no phone beside you, what would you do first? Fire? Stars? Silence? Comment just one. And if this story surprised you, the next one explores another ancient habit we've almost completely forgotten. Why did ancient humans almost never eat 3 meals a day? The answer might completely change the way you think about hunger. I'll see you in the next story.